So let me ask you this. If you woke up tomorrow and your boss called to say, "Hey, sorry, the company is downsizing. You're out of a job." How long could you keep paying your bills without panicking? For most people, the answer is not very long. But if you could go 6 months, maybe even a year, and still sleep soundly at night, that's a powerful sign you're doing well financially. And today, I'm breaking down the 5 biggest signs that prove you're on the right financial track in 2025. Stick around until the end, because number 5 is the one most people ignore, and it can either keep you broke or make you truly wealthy. Sign 1. You have an adequate emergency fund. Picture this. Your car suddenly breaks down. The mechanic tells you it's going to cost $2,500 to fix. For some people, that's the end of the world. Credit card maxed, stress levels sky high. But if you've got an emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of living expenses tucked away, you just swipe your debit card, pay it, and move on with life. No drama. Why this matters in 2025? According to a 2025 Bankrate survey, 57% of Americans couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency without borrowing money. That means if you have even $5,000 to $10,000 set aside, you're already ahead of the majority. Let's break this down. Say your monthly expenses are $3,000. 3 months' worth is $9,000. 6 months' worth is $18,000. If you've got that sitting in a high-yield savings account, earning around 4.3% APY, average for online banks in 2025, your emergency fund is not only protecting you, it's quietly making you extra cash. So if you've got this cushion, congrats, you're financially strong in ways most people aren't. Sign 2, you live within your means. Here's a quick gut check. If you earn $5,000 a month and you spend $5,500, you're not rich. You're broke with a nice lifestyle. But if you spend $4,000 and save the rest, that's where real financial health begins. Living within your means doesn't mean living cheap. It means spending less than you earn consistently. In 2025, U.S. household credit card debt crossed $1.34 trillion, with the average interest rate on cards at 22% APR. That means if you're not careful, a $5,000 balance could cost you $5,000 times 22%, $1,100 in interest per year, just for the privilege of borrowing. But if you're budgeting, prioritizing needs over wants, and staying out of high-interest debt, you're winning. It's not flashy, it's not Instagram-worthy, but it's the foundation of long-term wealth. Sign 3, your net worth is growing. Now here's where it gets exciting. Net worth equals assets minus liabilities. If you own a home worth $300,000 with a $200,000 mortgage, you've got $100,000 equity. Add in savings of $20,000, investments worth $50,000, and subtract $10,000 in student loans, your total net worth is $160,000. That's the real scorecard, not your salary, not your car, not your clothes. In 2025, the median U.S. household net worth is about $166,900, Federal Reserve data. So if your number is climbing year after year, you're doing better than you think, even if you don't feel rich. Here's the trick. If your net worth is growing by just 5 to 10% per year, thanks to paying down debt and investing, that compounds massively over time. For example, start with $50,000 net worth. Grow it at 7% per year for 20 years. That works out to roughly $193,484. That's almost $200K from slow, steady progress. So if your assets are rising and debts are shrinking, that's a crystal clear sign you're financially healthy. Sign 4, you are investing regularly. Here's a secret. Savers survive, but investors thrive. If you're just parking money in a savings account, inflation is eating it away. But if you're regularly investing into a 401k, IRA, index funds, or even diversified ETFs, you're not just surviving, you're building future freedom. In 2025, the average annual return of the S&P 500 over the last 50 years is about 10%. So let's do the math. If you invest $500 every month starting at age 30, with a 10% return, by age 60, you'll have, that works out to roughly $985,000, almost $1 million from slow, steady progress. So, if you're paying yourself first and investing consistently, you're not just financially stable, you're financially future-proofing. And finally, the big one. In 2025, the average American household carries about $21,800 in consumer debt, excluding mortgages. Credit cards, personal loans, buy now, pay later, it all adds up. Here's why this matters. Say you're paying off $10,000 in credit cards at 22% APR. If you only make the minimum payment of $250 per month, it'll take you nearly 5 years to pay off, and you'll end up paying almost $6,000 in interest. That's money you could have invested, saved, or traveled the world. But if you've crushed that debt or never had it in the first place, you've just freed up hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars each month. And that's a massive financial advantage. So, let's recap. The 5 signs you're doing well financially are: you've got a strong emergency fund, you live within your means, your net worth is steadily growing, you're investing consistently, and you have little to no consumer debt. If you can check even 3 of these boxes, you're doing better than the majority of people around you. And if you can check all 5, you're not just financially stable, you're financially free. Here's the truth. Money isn't about flexing. It's about sleeping at night knowing you're secure. So even if you don't feel rich right now, if you've built these habits, you're already winning the money game. Now, I want to throw it back to you. Which of these 5 signs do you already have locked down, and which one are you still working on? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to hear where you stand in your financial journey. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs a little financial motivation today. Because remember, wealth isn't built overnight, but with the right habits, it's built for life.